notwithstanding what you may hear about me, I have incredibly good judgment. One, I married Jill. And two, I appointed Johnson to the Academy. I just want you to know that. Just clap for that, you stupid bastard. Just clap for that.
But I don't think anything has assaulted the system and the fundamental makeup of this country as much as this Watergate thing has. And the only analogy I can really think of is a football analogy. And I apologize to you women in the audience for not being able to think of a more appropriate analogy, but they told me here they didn't want you here anyway. I didn't expect any women to be here. We spend a lot of time talking about the United States being a melting pot. Well, that's true, but quite frankly, I think it's overrated. We've been able to move forward because of politics. And in my opinion, politics need not necessarily be a dirty word. Politics should be the most honorable of professions. Those of you who are doctors and lawyers and Indian chiefs in the audience, how can any of you possibly do as much good if you're very good at what you do as I can do if I'm very good at what I can do? You can't. So the point is, this is where the action is. Politicians happen to affect everything that affects you, as you are very well aware. And if we bring down a great political party that should not be blamed for what happened, we begin to bring down a system. And if we bring down the system, unless you've got something better to replace it with, we're in trouble. And I, for one, don't have anything better to replace it with. We all came here, with the exception of a few of my brothers who were forced to come. We all came here because we didn't like it where it was, because power had corrupted, and because we were going to build a system that built into that system the inability of power and too much of it to reside in any one place. To run in my state cost $300,000 this time around, or between $250 and $300. I don't know the exact figure. That's more money than any Democrat in my state has ever spent, and the young new white knight, he spent it. Spent more money than my opponent, only because he didn't take me seriously, and he had another $90,000 left over. He didn't know how to spend it in the last week when they realized I was a serious candidate. But seriously, in trying to raise that money, I fortunately had over 3,000 individual contributors. Nobody makes up any more than 1 percentage point of my total budget. Nobody for 1 percentage point gets a hold of that ear. Nobody gets any more than a return phone call for that 1%. But it's not because I'm particularly moral. It's because nobody took me seriously. Had in the beginning when I started, big corporations or big labor or big wealthy individuals or big anybody come along and said, "Here, Biden, we want to contribute $20,000 to you," I probably would have taken it. Not probably, I would have taken it. Because I had to go out and borrow $20,000 and put a second mortgage on my house to get that 20 to start. But nobody took me seriously. Yes, sir, ma'am.
Yes, Senator, I find you very articulate. May I ask...
I find you very lovely. Come on up front.
The rest is not very good.
That's what I thought. That's why I tried to compliment you. I thought I'd scare you out of it.
To the best of your knowledge, Senator, do you believe that the Democratic Party has ever been involved in something as atrocious as bugging?
Sure, yes. Yes, I do. But bugging isn't the question, kiddo. We're not even talking about bugging. You know, the rumor was that Robert Kennedy used to walk into his office in the morning when he was a senator and pick up the phone and say, "Hello, everybody, how are you?" And the counter to that was, the reason he was able to pick it up and say that is when he was Attorney General, he was doing the bugging. So, you know, I'm sure that bugging has gone on. And I'm sure, and that's offensive to everyone. It's particularly offensive to somebody like me who's being bugged, if I am. But as one of my colleagues said, "Joe, you're not important enough yet to be bugged, so don't worry about it." He's probably right. But really and truly, it has gone on.
Senator,
yes, Mr. Justice.
For some time I've had the feeling that the Southern senators are warmer now toward the problems of the Negro in America. Have you had private conversations with them, or do you feel that way about it, or have they talked to you privately about their changed attitude toward these problems?
I have had a number of conversations with the Southern senators, and we get about 40 to 50 requests a week to speak nationally, and just as if I were elected with one eye, I'd be an anomaly, and they'd want me to speak. I'm 30. That's not because of any merit. Just because I'm 30, they want to see if I can talk. And the places that we go, that I've told my staff, the places I want to go, by and large, are the South, because I'm most unfamiliar with the South. So I've had occasion to speak in the South fairly frequently. And I think the two-party system, although my Democratic colleagues don't like me saying this, I think the two-party system is good for the South and good for the good for the black in the South. Other than the fact that they still call me boy, I think they've changed.
Clap for that, you stupid bastards.